Anthony Pratt employs more than 17,000 people across his private companies VISY in Australia and Pratt Industries in the United States. He believes there is a big opportunity for Australian industry to expand, to reduce our reliance on Chinese manufacturing and to improve the bottlenecks in global supply chains. At the same time, Mr Pratt expects strong demand for his paper and recycling businesses going forward. I exclusively caught up with him on the sidelines at the Skills Summit today. Well, Anthony Pratt, thanks very much for joining us. What have you been getting out of the summit so far?
Well, I think it's fantastic that the Prime Minister and the Treasurer have brought everyone together in a spirit of collaboration, and there's a great sense of vibe in there of people working together, and it has been very, very collaborative.
What message are you trying to get out there to Australia's political leaders?
Well, I think that, number one, I think this government's going to do a great job. I think that there's great opportunities for Australia to, industries that are going to be onshored again after being offshored to China. I think a lot of companies are going to, with all these supply chain bottlenecks due to COVID or due to the Ukraine war, there's going to be a lot of industries companies and industries come back to Australia, and I think that we should encourage that. A great example is the food industry, where Australia can grow anything, but rather than exporting wheat for $100 a tonne, we might want to bring back manufacturing jobs by turning it into flour, which gets $500 a tonne, or manufacturing that flour into bread, which gets $5,000 a tonne. And rather than so, I think there needs to be things that we've got a natural advantage in, but I really think there's a great opportunity to bring a lot of businesses back onshore to Australia, where there's low sovereign risk and fantastic growth.
How do you rate the strength of Australia's economy at the moment with this high inflation environment?
I think the Australian economy is extremely resilient. I think Australian workers are the best in the world. Productivity is huge, and I think that the big opportunity for Australia is to bring a lot of companies and industries back from China back to Australia, so that there's less supply chain bottlenecks.
And how do we do that? How do we make Australia a better place for investment?
I think Australia is already a great place for investment, and I think the meetings like the one today bring an all of society focus onto how can we grow the economy for the benefit of everyone. And I think that it's a great opportunity.
You've got VISY here with about 7,000 employees and Pratt Industries in America with about 10,000. Are there any big differences between the way employment's structured in Australia compared to the United States?
Well, I think the main thing is that our average tenure of our workers in Australia is 11 years, which is almost double the national average. And so I think that productivity improvement and skills enhancement go hand in hand with worker loyalty, because the longer people are with you, the easier it is that you can have training and skills and all those sorts of things.
Where are you going to be investing the most over the next few years? Is it Australia or the United States?
It's a very good question. Well, we're currently building, investing a further, we've got $10 billion invested here so far, and we've got another $2 billion that we're in the process of investing. For example, a glass bottle factory in Queensland, and another glass bottle factory in New South Wales. And so we're in the middle of a $2 billion investment program now.
And Australian super funds, do you think they should be able to provide more infrastructure investment for Australian assets?
I think that, the super funds have $3.5 trillion in them at the moment, which is double the size of the Australian economy. It's a tremendous amount of money, and it's going to be $7 trillion by 2030. So I think as American pension funds do, there's an opportunity for super funds here not just to invest in the share market, but also to, in addition to that, to lend money. Like, I think 40% of all money, super fund money in America, amongst pension funds in America, is lent, and I think that there's an opportunity for that here as well, for the benefit of Australian investment and jobs.
And VISY is obviously a very sustainable company. What's the sort of growth for the sustainability sector looking like right now?
Really good. I think we've got a number of clean energy plants that we've built, and on top of that, what we do is our sort of mission, our sort of North Star is that recycling is an important weapon against climate change. because as things decay in the landfill, they emit methane gas, which is 20 times worse than CO2 emissions, and a third of all climate change is due to methane. So to the extent that we can stop stuff going to landfills, I think that's a tremendous, and what we do is we take waste that was going to go to landfills and we turn it back into packaging.
Well, Anthony Pratt, Executive Chairman at VISY, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.